With J. Cole's upcoming project The Fall Off dropping pretty damn soon, I've been on this huge wave of re-listening to every J. Cole project from 2024 up until his debut mixtape to come up. And today I wish to talk about an EP, or in this case, three EPs that came out at a pretty critical time in J. Cole's career. And that's True Years 1, 2, and 3. And you're probably wondering, wait, there's a Truly Yours 3 for any J. Cole hardcore fans? Yes, there was. If you were to get the Born Sinner Deluxe Edition and you open this bad boy up, you would notice that in the Deluxe Edition, it legitimately says Truly Yours 3. And I want to talk about these today because I feel like now, over the years, in the wake of many J. Cole projects that have come out since Born Sinner and what have you, I think the Trill Years EP is another project that I've also talked about recently with other J. Cole projects as like one of his, honestly, one of his most underrated EP projects to come out because Truly Yours, in my view, feels like a blueprint, a catalyst, a transitional period from J. Cole because if you remember around this time period, J. Cole's debut album called World the Sideline Stories, which came out back in 2011, this album here was pretty infamous for disappointing some J. Cole hardcore fans who were paying attention to him from his first three mixtapes. And this obviously made a pretty big icon really felt disappointed in J. Cole going in the direction that he did off his debut album. So with the inevitable coming of the next album from J. Cole, it'll be, of course, a couple years, and he wouldn't drop until 2013 with Born Sinner. But before he dropped Born Sinner, he dropped these Truly Yours EPs, Truly Yours 1 and 2. The first one, I'll have to say, is a five-track EP with a really good, like, Lauren Hill flip up with Can I Holla At Ya, Crunch Time, Rise Above, Tears for ODB, and then a song that he had back in the back catalog from 2009 with Stay. And this first EP from Truly Yours is incredible. It showcases J. Cole's lyrical ability. And in this EP, this first EP alone, you can tell like J. Cole was going in a much more different direction. And he wasn't trying to appeal to a commercial fan base, which was unfortunately what happened with the Silent Stories at the time. Now, with True Yours 2, which would come out in April 2013, this one actually had the official date of when Born Sinner was going to drop, and this one this time around had six tracks with Cole Summer, Kelly Lofton, Chris Tucker, Head Bussa, Cousins, and Three Wishes. This EP, in my view, was like the truly like if you really like Truly Yours 1 or you didn't get a lot of bang for your buck for the first Truly Yours 2 is where things got ramped up immediately because now we have features from Young Jeezy, Two Chains, and Boz on the mix. And honestly, there are songs over here that are probably the best, if not the most underrated songs in J. Cole's discography in his entire career. With the latter half being that, like, I think my favorite song off of True Years 2 is Cole Summer, Chris Tucker, Head Bussa, and Three Wishes. Like, the songs off here are just incredible and showcase, like, a lot of, like, different ideas and styles that J. Cole was playing around with. But again, also continuing that trend of J. Cole getting better and showcasing a different lane that J. Cole is finally taking after his debut album. And then, of course, we're going to Born Sinner, aka Truly Yours 3, which was, paired up with the deluxe edition of Truly Yours. And this one has, again, five tracks on here. In my view, between these three EPs, I think Truly Yours 3 might be somewhat the weakest one in my view. But given that this is like tied into Born Sinner, it makes a whole lot of sense. But this was the last EP to wrap up the Truly Yours saga with Miss America, New York Times featuring 50 Cent and Boss, which 50 Cent crushed it on the chorus. Boss once again crushed it with the feature. Is She Gon' Pop, which is a really nice, small, little, like fast little paced album to People's Know, and then Sparks Will Fly featuring a really rare but potent Janae Aiko feature. So this EP, the Trill Years 3 EP to wrap this up, is another like slam dunk to showcase like now after the release of Born Sinner, after the release of these last two EPs, we finally get like the culmination of the Truly Yours saga all in one little package right here. And now, as I've been re-listening to a lot of J. Cole's past projects, which again, I have pretty much all of his physical albums, I've have all of his mixtapes and whatnot. I could comfortably say that Truly Yours, the one, two, and three, are just easily slept upon. I think that these are projects that needs to be re-listened. I think that this is like, in my view, this could be a contender for like top five best J Cole projects ever. If you would combine all three Truly Yours into like one category, in my opinion, because in my view, like Truly Yours feels like a really good, as I mentioned already many times throughout this video, a really nice transitional point in J. Cole's career into the artist that we come to know and love now. And it would, of course, be fully realized when he would drop his 2014 album, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which is, I think, was the main focus why these EPs came out for a reason. So yeah, just want to simply rant talk about these Trilliers EPs because again, I've been on the J Cole binge. His up and coming album's gonna be dropping pretty soon, and fuck it, I'm gonna be going ballistic on the J Cole talks left and right, and maybe do a ranking up and coming video. Who knows? But anyway, just want to talk about this a little bit, and that's it. See you on the next one. Later.